In Movies and Money, Scooby-Doo is coming to a TV or mobile screen near you. Take a look.
Discover the epic origin story of the greatest team of heroes in the history of mystery.
Let's bring in our movie critic, Erik Chilrdress. Hello to you, Erik.
Hi, Angie.
Ruh-roh, SCOOB is the next test of a major studio moving a big release directly to streaming platforms, and it's happening this weekend. What are the prospects?
Probably very good, Angie. Remember, we are still in the rarefied era of studios testing the strategy, which helps mask them and saving face on a large investment, too. Now, Universal got right out of the gate with Trolls World Tour, and while there are reports of that film garnering around $100 million in sales just from streaming rentals, it is still unlikely the film will be able to turn a profit just from the release strategy alone. So now comes SCOOB from Warner Brothers, which will not only be available for a 48-hour rental for $19.99, but for $5 more, families can own it in their digital libraries. It will be interesting to see how this added incentive plays into it, or whether we'll ever see definitive numbers on the split. I do suspect we will see similarly reported numbers to the Trolls sequel, though. Both of these animated films have become available on the date they were set to be launched in theaters. Trolls was a true event moment for the industry and came along at a time when parents needed a little something extra for their kids. Add another month, and I imagine that's double the case now with SCOOB. It is interesting how AMC Theaters is choosing not to pick a fight with Warner Brothers over this release, the way they decided to announce they were boycotting Universal Pictures over tightening a now non-existent theatrical window for Trolls. But it appears obvious that AMC doesn't want to rock the boat when they are still banking on Christopher Nolan's Tenet to be the film that brings people back to theaters.
And yet there is a new candidate hoping to take the lead on the shortened summer season. Here's a look at Unhinged.
Ma'am, are you okay?
I'm pretty sure the guy in that truck's following me.
He's road raging.
Why don't you just chill, man? Go your own way.
Unhinged could become one of the few fresh films headed to the big screen in early summer.
Yes, now that most studios have removed nearly all of their films from both May and June, the most recently founded Solstice Studios is placing their maiden release Unhinged on the schedule for July 1st. Now, this road rage thriller starring Russell Crowe as an unnamed stranger who begins to stalk a single mother and her son was to be released at the end of the summer over Labor Day weekend. But then John Krasinski's A Quiet Place Part 2 moved there just before its release in March as news of the pandemic was starting to take hold. Now, I'm not sure this is the kind of film that will send people rushing back into theaters, but it could make for the kind of classic drive-in appreciation that we spoke of last week, and I would be all in favor of seeing more drive-ins open and embrace this with a double feature including a Mad Max film, Breakdown, or some other vehicular thriller.
And we have to talk about Disney moving right ahead with that blockbuster news. Its one-time big screen rendition of Lin-Manuel Miranda's Hamilton will be back to the small screen on July 3rd. Here's a little taste of what you have to look forward to in streaming form.
I'm past patiently waiting, I'm passionately smashing every expectation, every action's an act of creation. I'm laughing in the face of casualties and sorrow. For the first time, I'm thinking past tomorrow.
Erik, streaming this film is huge.
Precisely, Angie. Just 2 days after Unhinged is planning to move into theaters, the filmed version of the Broadway musical, which had only been recently announced for release on October 15th of 2021, is moving all the way up to this July 3rd on their Disney Plus platform. Now, as probably the last person in the world to have actually never seen this production, my curiosity is certainly elevated. However, beyond not having the full experience of a live show, and people should be aware that this is just a filmed version of the actual stage production and not a cinematic adaptation, I still do have a lot of pause given what I know of both Miranda's play and Disney Plus literally not providing the full experience for its home viewers. The original stage version, as I understand it, does contain some salty language that would normally garner it an R rating. Yet this version has received a PG-13, so one is left to wonder what just had to be cleaned up in order to get the Disney stamp of approval. The streaming platform has already been subject to scrutiny over re-edited versions of everything from the original Star Wars to Ron Howard's PG-rated Splash. Now, as a purist, this is the primary reason they have not gotten my subscription yet.
Well, it sounds like Disney is really in it to win it against Netflix. Thank you, Erik, and keep us posted.
Thank you, Angie.
For more Business First AM, check us out on social media. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And go to businessfirstam.com for where to see our show on TV.